have presentations from our four panelists. I'm going to run through a quick sort of overview. Most of you probably know what I'm going to go through, but I'll go through it quickly. And then we're going to do a panel and discussion and take your Q&As as well. So I'm going to go quickly through some slides here. As I mentioned, this event is really to talk about the app market. And what are apps? I mean, they're software applications. They're designed to run on smartphones. We've got everyone from independent producers who are running them to app stores that are run by the likes of Apple and the Android marketplace. Some of you may have read a New York Times article this morning that talked about the 1 millionth app being produced last week, which is completely false. We hit the 1 million mark a long time ago. Currently, there are about 680,000 apps in the Apple App Store, about 600,000 or so in the Android marketplace, and BlackBerry has maybe 40,000, et cetera, et cetera. But there are many others that are coming online. Samsung, those of you who are in the business know, has a development language called Bada. We've been waiting forever for their full-blown app store to come out. They're doing, sort of cross-platform apps on their smart TVs as well. Really fascinating stuff. Amazon has a burgeoning app store as well. There are also third-party app stores. So you've got companies like GetChar. Really, really great story. They've just done a fantastic job. AppCity.com out of Paris, Handango, Handmark. So there are a lot of different ways for you as producers to distribute your apps. The value of the market, and I trust the gentleman who gave this number of $17.5 billion, that's Chetan Sharma, who's based out of Seattle. By 2012, we'll hit $17.5 billion for the apps market and reach about 50 billion downloads per year. Currently, Apple has about 18 million downloads, and the Android marketplace has about 10 million. So there you see some of the numbers here. And iPad and tablet apps, of course, are growing. That's going to be a huge growth market, and our panelists will talk about that and show you some good things. Obviously, who's making apps? Everyone from Trimo, great app developers, done stuff for 60 Minutes. The Roots has Appa Video, which is coming out, Skyrocket. One of our PGA members, John Vosopoulos, has run the company that did the Zippo app lighter. It was one of the first branded apps and has more than 16 million. Game developers, obviously Rovio out of Finland has just created the most incredible franchise with Angry Birds and PopCap, another great game developer, Bejeweled, Plants vs. Zombies, really great games. But there are great things coming out of major studios. Jimi Hendrix app, if you played with it, is just fantastic. Warner Brothers started selling their films through the iTunes App Store in February. So look for more long-form content, people who are making end runs around more traditional forms of distribution. Specialty stuff. Museum of London has a Charles Dickens exhibit that's completely sold out, but they have an amazing app that they just launched. It's sort of a living experience. How are they produced? Again, you'll hear more from the panelists. But for those who don't know, most major app stores take 30%. BlackBerry, for whatever reason, they're Canadian, takes 20%. They're polite. Their most expensive apps, and I'm not kidding, Barmax and The Alchemist SMS cost $999. Most apps are priced between, say, 99 cents and $9.99. And there's something called freemium, for those who don't know, which is that your first download is free, and then there's an upsell for greater functionality. That's been very popular. We'll talk a little bit about in-app purchases and ads as well. That's going to be a huge part of the market next year. So again, how to make an app? Well, you can work with somebody like Bradley from Fuzz Productions. You could do it yourself. You can download the software development kits from manufacturers like Apple or from Google. Or, of course, you could use do-it-yourself tools like Grapple or iBuild app. And it takes several weeks usually to get an app approved. Most of the app stores will, of course, give you their hints as to what you need to do to make it better, and then market it, which is a huge, huge issue. If you're an independent, and most of us here in the room are, that can be a struggle, but it's also a great opportunity. So a couple of things, resources. Again, for those who don't know, Distimo has some really good analysis of the market. The Apple side of the fence is well covered by 148 apps. Mobile entertainment out of England, great coverage. GameSpot, for those who are gamers, know great coverage of the mobile gaming market. And Mocha News, which I still rely on. So that's sort of my overview. We're going to, as I said, switch it over to the panelists now, who are going to run through their presentations, and then we'll do a discussion. On my immediate right is Bradley Glenn, who is a member of the PGA New Media Council East Executive Committee. He is the mobile producer of all things out of Brooklyn-based Fuzz Productions. To his right is our very own Julia Schulhoff, again, longtime New Media Council East member. Julia has been heading up mobile at Hearst. She was previously with Hachette, which was then purchased, most of those titles by Hearst. And she's going to take you through some of the things she's been doing on the magazine side of the fence. To her right is Chris Gonzalez with Gilt Group, the Daily Deal fashion site. So that's going to be interesting. It's the holiday season, so he'll have some good analysis of what's going on there. And last but not least, and the person who had the shortest walk, I believe, or did Julia? No. Okay, Julia did, but the second shortest walk was Jeff Fries on the end from CNNMoney.com. I've seen this man present. He's a heavy hitter. He's going last, so he's representing the major cable network side of the fence, and like that. So without further ado, please welcome Bradley Glenn.